Botani Mawethu, Kamla Sizwe, Masego, and welcome to #TalksWithKells. Mbhele Penelope left, yes. Siphethe ubani igama?
Kholisile Sam Nkoko.
Wow. So we're going to miss the lady and go to the brother we know. What is your name, my brother?
Themba Kells, the only existing podcast at Ratanda. Thank you so much.
Okay, and can you do the honors of introducing the beautiful lady next to us?
She's gonna introduce herself.
Oh.
I think a lot of people know her from Facebook. We have brought her here. We make things possible, guys. Please do introduce yourself.
Oh my word.
Oh my word.
My name is Keke Mbhele, otherwise known as Penelope.
Yeah.
The Facebook lady.
The Facebook lady that did the things.
I'm loyal.
Yes.
And yes, we can now officially start.
Do you want to start? Or
No. Today I am the friend of the podcast officially and literally and figuratively.
No, the friend of the podcast is Skater.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm the best friend of the podcast.
How?
I'm joking.
Yeah, okay, cool stuff. But this is a bad way. I'm gonna use my phone. Okay, but it's cool, guys. It's cool. So, we spent a week drafting these topics, and I hope they're good enough to hold a conversation.
Okay.
I really hope.
So who's we? You spent
Me and Dimakatso.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Why do you have to be like that?
Because now,
I mean, we're not.
if you don't sound prepared now and then it's going to today I had a week, so I'm like, who's that's what
How do you feel?
Are you asking me?
Yes, how do you feel?
I'm okay.
You're not
Am I
nervous?
supposed to be feeling anything?
No, I'm asking what
No. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good.
And again, this is our first time doing a podcast, so this is going to be nice.
Very interesting.
It's going to be nice. So, all right. Via here at the back. Okay, we should be good. How to set boundaries in your life and the people around you. Okay, that sounds a bit strange, but yeah. How do you set the boundaries in your life and the people around you, or whoever you allow in your space?
I think for me, I'll also relate it to my life, right?
Okay.
Very often people look at boundaries as something that they need to set for other people, right? They look at it as an external thing.
Okay.
But for me, it's more of an internal thing, right? So if you learn to set boundaries, I don't know what is happening, guys, but something is happening. Themba is joking.
No, you can continue.
So for me, it's more of an internal battle that you must conquer first before you start setting external boundaries, that is. So I think for me, I've had to learn to be vulnerable. You know, there's no setting boundaries without vulnerability. And vulnerability for me means knowing myself, you know, knowing why I do the things that I do, why I think the way that I think, why certain things make me feel a certain way. So I've had to undergo a whole process of being vulnerable towards self and understanding myself, and also learning to set boundaries. Like for me, like, you know, being able to say no. You know, it's a matter of, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the concept here, delayed gratification.
No.
You're not.
But that makes sense.
It makes sense,
Yeah,
right? Where you want to have cake,
Yes,
but you can't have cake, you know. So that is what setting boundaries means to me. Knowing how to say no and when to say no, and knowing your reason as to why you're saying no. So basically, that's what setting boundaries means to me. And how I've been doing it, I think it's a practice thing, guys. It takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time. I think I'm still practicing that particular concept in my life even now, because I think there are times where I say no to people and it's very uncomfortable. I have said no to like.
And I wanted to add on that, because when you spoke about, I think he choked because you said internal, and I always preach the internal statement.
Thank
to him. You have to do the work.
Thank you.
That's when you can set boundaries.
Well,
That's when
Sizwe is
you
my
find
person.
yourself, then you can set the boundaries. You don't need to set them the energy that you will put out will set the boundaries if you find yourself and you know yourself and you know what you want. So I think that's why he coughed, because he knows spiritual, internal, that's me. And you are agreeing now.
You are my person. Love it.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been afraid to not only the hard way, especially when it comes to people. I'm that kind of person who's open. I have a lot of friends, and I think that was my mistake, because the kind of people that I bring into my life, they tend to betray me in a way, because I'm always open to about, and then don't want you to I've learned the hard way. I'm told I have a story, but it's a story for another thing, because it's very long.
Second episode.
So for me, I think setting boundaries, it's not for democracies in someone, but it's you setting out boundaries and saying, okay, I forgive you, but we can just keep a distance. That's what.
So no one is going to ask me anything. How do I set my own boundaries? No one.
Yes.
Well, you've asked yourself. Might as well.
Yeah. I don't have any points, guys. I was just.
I
don't have any points.
Okay.
But I think it's quite important to know the people of which you're going to invite in your space and be picky of that, because whatever that you decide to have in your space, you are particularly responsible for that. So you cannot blame someone else. For instance, let's say I have you as a friend, and sorry that I have to make an example like this, and we're always going out.
No.
But I just said I'm sorry. Okay, and then we're always going out on weekends. Every weekend we are partying. Then when it's time to shift the responsibility, I'm saying, no, I'm like this because of a skater. That's not the thing. I chose to bring you in my life, so I have to take the responsibility. I'm the responsible person.
Sure.
I cannot shift the blame. So yeah, that's what I think.
Okay. No, it does make sense.
It does make sense.
Does make sense. Moving right along. We spoke about the internal, and our next point is healing the inner wound. Alright. So both you, the feminine and the masculinity.
It's
energy.
gonna get messy.
So I spoke about energy.
Messy.
And I think
Why?
since I started to speak about energy, it does. That's my statement when it comes to that. Healing the inner wound will help you also mobilize your energy.
Okay.
She disagrees.
I didn't say that.
So it's fine. She disagrees. It's fine. That's my point of
That's
view.
your opinion, yes.
And I would say if you heal the inner self, that's when we can say now you're masculine, or your energy, hence you put it in brackets here, the energy will come out the way that you want it.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
To rephrase. Alright, so that's where I'm stopping. And if you're going to say anything else, I don't know. But otherwise, let's move on.
When I'm gonna open it up and then I'll have my say.
Why? Because you want to
guest. She's the guest.
Oh yeah, she's the only female.
We need Rome to do as the Romans do. She's in Rome.
Wow.
Just kidding.
And okay.
Alright, before we go,
It doesn't
shout out
matter.
to Gagazi Bar and Restaurant. Shout out. They are the sponsors of our shoot today. Sabonga kakhulu. As you can see, it's all lavish and classy. So yeah.
You were forced
If
to
you're in
go.
Ratanda, if you're in Heidelberg, come to Igagasi Bar and Restaurant. Thank you.
Okay, I think personally, I don't speak energy. I have my own reasons. I don't speak energy. I think one thing about me, I don't like putting things into, this is a conversation we were having in the car. I don't like putting things inside a box, to say this is the energy, this is so whatever. But my point is, I think I agree with Sizwe in a sense that you can't, I feel like, this is my opinion by the way, you can't do life without having done the internal work. It is impossible. The older you grow, the more you realize that so many things are attached to you doing a lot of healing. So I think for me, healing the inner wound would be something that I would refer to as healing the inner child. I don't know if you guys have actually ever heard that.
Yes,
where like my inner child right now wants a huge, massive teddy bear, and I'm getting that. You get it. But my point is, there are certain things that happen during our childhood, and it's not always something that is horrible.
Yeah.
Exactly. Many people think when you have to do healing, it's because there was something traumatic that happened. I had a very amazing childhood. Like, when I say amazing, I mean amazing. My mother, father was there. I was raised in I was raised in a home that was full of love and whatever, the ideal home setup that you can think of. But I've had to heal from the abundance of love that I had, because it never prepared me for the intensity of the world. You know, I lost my dad when I was 14, and much of my trauma or my issues with mental illness come from me losing my father. And the reason why that is a particular issue, or served as a problem for me, was because my dad used to be the one who validates me. So every single day when I came home, he'd tell me, "You're beautiful, I love you." So when he passed on, there was a season in my life where there was complete silence and no one was telling me that. And I want to tell you that years later, I discovered that I had issues with self-esteem. I've always sought validation from other people, not because it was a bad thing that my dad was doing necessarily, but more because, like, I was never prepared for that.
You got used to it, and
I got
you was removed to you abruptly.
Exactly.
And your body got, your brain, everything, spirit, body, soul, and mind got used to it.
Thank you.
So you had to unlearn it.
Exactly.
And find solace in knowing that people will not do it like your dad did it.
Exactly. So that has been the general expectation from other people in relationships. I've been quite very dependent on other people to help me self-regulate and do all those things. So for me, healing the inner child means being able to give myself what I desire from other people, so that I don't place the expectation on the next person, but I learn how to give myself those particular things. That's why I say right now, what's happening in my life is that every time if I'm upset about a particular thing, I no longer depend on other people to actually step in and say, it's going to be okay. If anything, I avoid people and I learn how to self-regulate and get myself to a place of tranquility. I'm like, it's okay, you know? So that for me is what healing the inner child, or the inner.
It's the word. She's so tranquil. And I wanted to say, there's with that. Sorry guys, the engagement.
Yes,
Love
cool.
what you said. I'm going through the same thing. I'm still healing from. I also had a good childhood, and like you said, I'm learning to understand. You would see if it's panda, like literally.
Yeah. Very hectic.
Even though there's dad in the background who I can always call and say blah blah blah, but otherwise now it's time. You need to be a man, yeah. You're a gay man, but you need to be a man.
A man.
You know?
The whole
point. It's life. It is what it is. You're right. Love what you said. But my point was, there's a fine line between doing the inner work and it's either you do it and then you know that it's adequate for this time in my life. Because sometimes we do internal work and we overstep it. And that's when God starts showing you things. For instance, I go to God because that's my source of. He will show you things about people then, as far as energy is related. And I check some magic. Even though it's the start, but and because we are human beings, because now I know that and I pray to God, I want to overstep and not let him take charge. But I want to say, wrong, red flag, fuck off. And God is like, no, I was just showing you.
Yeah.
I will do the exposing, you know?
Yeah.
So all I'm trying to say is, when doing the inner work, understand why you are doing it. It must be very momentous, like you said, the reason the dad passed on, and then you had to do the inner work.
Yeah.
You've been doing it, but otherwise, particularly.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I get
so
you.
I'm just saying, people should not, because right now I'm struggling because I overstep it, and then.
You of me, I of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Steph, I want to ask you something. You've listened to what they've said, yeah? Do you think the energy of which you have received from both of them is feminine? I'm saying, based on what they have said, both of them, do you believe that the energy they gave is a feminine and that it's different from what you would or how you'd handle things as a man, like the masculine side?
Unfortunately, I don't have an answer to that. I don't have an answer to that.
Skater?
He's trying to start a
Honestly,
feud.
I've been thinking, for me now, I don't have an answer to that, but I would say same applies to Penelope.
Yes.
I grew up ready in Basel, even today, Basel, I think, but the only challenge that I had is that my parents are old school, and they are church people, and you know, as a kid growing up, you want to experience some things as much as kulele esontweni, but obviously when you go to school or outside, because I grew up really artist and then you get exposed to things that you're not used to, and then you wanna try and fit in. It's not necessarily trying to fit in, but it's the reality, the corner. They were up until with some mistakes, and then once you do mistakes, they start to judge you. You know, Mr. Like church people.
I'm a church person.
I know, but don't take it wrong. But yeah, I think that was my issue. You know, because I had to heal from that. I had to take responsibility, and having to grow up with that responsibility from a young age up until now, it was challenging. But you know, when you struggle, you get to have a plan or study, try different things in life, and then I was with a little go, and then fortunately things fell into place, and then at least my responsibilities are not that hard anymore.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, before we finish, I see the video trying to start. Why would you associate energy with masculinity and and feminine?
It is like that.
Why?
It is like that. We deal with things in a different manner. Between female energy, please don't disturb me. Please don't beg me. Between the feminine energy and the masculine energy, how we deal with things as men is way different than women. You know, as men, I believe, and I've always preached this, Uruti, you don't have time to pity yourself. Honestly, you don't. The world doesn't care about you. It doesn't. So if you think just because you're a man, you should have sympathy from other people, you're fooling yourself. That's what I think.
But you should care about yourself.
Listen, Sizwe. Listen.
The inner work.
This is what I think.
My word.
The world is going to try and project the image that they care about you, but they don't, honestly. What I admire about us as men or as gents is that, you know, let's say you've lost a job or you got fired or whatever that's going on in your life, it's a difficult phase. One thing also you should skate is that I'll figure it out. You don't rely on other people.
True.
If I were, let me say this, if I were to be in a relationship with someone right now, this is going to be quite controversial.
Cool.
If I was in a relationship with someone right now, do you think they'll be able to stay with me for a period of, let's say, a year, if I went broke? No, they wouldn't.
Hi, amadoda ngwazi kusacabanga njani.
They're going to try to cover that up, man, but in all honest terms, they wouldn't. Because, I'll tell you what, I think females, they look at you from an opportunistic perspective, yes. That you need to get your shit in order, and if not, they're gonna give you they're gonna give you a time frame. Which will tell maybe within a period of a year or two, he needs to get his shit in order. If not, I'm leaving, because they don't get a provision. This is what I know for a fact.
Yeah.
Okay, based on the people that I have seen.
And dated.
No. No.
Because wow.
But this is it.
You've got a fact.
That's how it's things.
You've got a fact, Themba, but now
Because
let's go back to...
if I'm gonna come to Penelope and say to her, you know what, things are not working out, and I've used this analogy before, things are not working out, I'm not sure how we're gonna survive this year. In her perspective, or rather in her mindset, she's definitely saying Themba doesn't have his shit in order. He's not possessing that leadership role. What makes you think she can stay?
Guys.
Can I come to the sun? Can I start?
Yeah.
Can I start? Since I came to the sun first and I was short. Themba, you are factual and you're right. But the problem is one now. we're not answering your own question. What did you ask us? What did you ask? Sorry, to stats. Yes. Let's go there. What did you ask him?
What did I ask you?
Yes, you asked me a question. I'm asking you.
About feminine
Energy. So you're right. You got a fact. But now, where shooting energy, Lapo, how does it fit in that what you just said now?
It's feminine and masculine. Dealing with things.
But energy and deciding, you said a girl. That's a perspective.
So you're saying I'm contradicting myself?
No, we're saying
What is energy to
Don't
you?
say,
Let's start there. I'm saying what is energy to you? Explain. Because I think we have a different
perspective.
perspective of energy. I think for me, we spoke about the internal work in energy, meaning that will resonate from inside, right? And you will sense the vibrations of people. We're talking about that type of energy, right? Yes. And then what is it to you? Because your case study is factual and great, but how is it energy related?
So everything starts from a point of an internal work, and then it goes outside. I think I've covered the both. If you were listening.
No. Okay, explain. The one that pattern.
No, I'm just saying. I've covered the both. Sis.
Which inner work is it? Because if you say a man must.
Listen, you're saying
have you done the work?
You're wondering if you
done
work
the
in yourself.
internal work?
Listen, if you work in yourself.
Yes.
In my sense, that's the feminine side.
Oh, you're lying then. Because
If you work on yourself,
it's
you work on
feminine.
yourself. It's a feminine energy. I'm so
That is no, guys. No.
you know that's.
No.
Guys,
That is
no. Guys, come on.
No.
Listen, stay. No. Listen to
I'm
me.
gonna get the point because he's missing it.
No.
Themba, you come from your mom and your dad. You have feminine energy whether or not you like it.
No, I don't think
I think Themba usesena lento le ukuthi indoda ayikhali.
That's the problem.
Thank you, bro.
That's the problem.
No,
And that's the problem. Ungakhali wendoda.
No. Guys, wait.
Ungakhali wendoda. That's the energy issue we're talking about.
Okay. Let's give each other a chance. Yes, I know you guys are gonna disagree with me.
We are.
But the concept between the Ikali, that's people projecting feminine energy to you. Why must you cry?
No, guys.
Not literally. You don't say.
I'm sorry to say this, but we are raising weak men.
Oh, but
No, guys.
There are people already. Men are weak already.
Like, no.
I'll tell you guys.
No. Guys, wait.
There is no day in my life you
Themba.
There is
From
no
the men
day-
that you have been raised
There is no
without
day in
being
my
told
life
me.
where I'll allow my boy child to go in the process of crying. That nigga must not cry. He must
Then you're going to raise a depressed child.
A broken man.
Then you're going to raise a depressed child.
And
The only time
and someone.
you're not allowed to cry, you're allowed to vent out, not cry.
To who? To you?
To your niggas, not
No,
females. You don't vent
We
out to
said inner
females.
work. We said
Why?
inner work. You don't need to vent out to anyone. Inner work means go to the corner, pray, speak to yourself. Inner work means yourself. Yourself.
It has nothing to do with other
friends.
people. No, but also, guys, this is the reason why most men are broken.
Yes.
This narrative, and I just want to say that I find it, no offense, I find it quite
Don't
ignorant
touch me. Don't say don't
for Themba to say that while he lives in this day and age. It is very ignorant. A lot of men are taking their own lives because they don't have a place to go. So it's like what he's saying is quite contradictory.
Boy. Wuti, you don't have a place to go and you need to go to females for
No, not necessarily.
Inner work. Self.
Exactly.
Self.
Because it's just like what he said when he said the world doesn't care about when he said the world doesn't care about men not making it. No, the world doesn't care about an adult who wants to cry.
Lies.
No, it doesn't.
Lies.
It doesn't.
If you right now,
The
you
world
go out in
doesn't
public
care.
and say you're depressed, they want to give you more attention than me. Let's be honest, Keke. Let's not beat around the bush.
That's when the Daikali part comes in there.
Like,
Right,
exactly.
We're dealing with the
Go
society here, guys.
to
We're
the-
dealing with the society. What's so hard to...
Society, you can choose to deal with society and choose to be in the society.
Exactly.
And
No, but
You can
also
choose
this
to deal with society or
mentality.
be in the society.
This
and being in
mentality.
the society, unfortunately, you are forced because you are born.
Exactly.
You must be in it. Living with them and choose for routine standards. You must. No, brother.
And this very
Themba, sorry,
Yeah, no, it's fine.
as a guy, you need to open up to your niggas.
Your niggas.
Your niggas, right?
Thank you.
So if I am your nigga, then I open up to you. To you, I'm gonna appear as
No.
Someone weak.
No.
That's what
You just said it.
He just said it.
You said it.
Listen, there's a difference between being weak and being vulnerable. There's a massive difference.
You can't. No, guys. You can't.
You can be vulnerable alone.
Guys,
You
need
can't.
to understand.
No,
There's a
guys.
massive difference between being weak and being vulnerable.
Oh, yes, but you can be vulnerable alone.
Guys, mphakamisa isandla.
You decide to be vulnerable alone.
Yes, but don't say to me they must not decide to. You are saying they must not do the inner work, Penelope.
I never said they
What are
must
you
not.
saying?
I said my perspective, Sizwe.
Okay, fine. Your
My
perspective.
perspective.
Your
Okay.
perspective is
It's an
very
opinion.
much- On what fact?
It's an opinion.
Yes, fine.
No, they're not
Okay.
facts. It's an opinion. It's how I deal with things.
What
Yes,
informs
so
you?
then-
You see, when I say it's a fact,
Yes.
it's when now we have generalized
My
the
brother,
whole
that's
concept.
okay. Let's not go there. Let's go to the point now.
No, we
It's fine.
cannot go
What
to
are
the
you
point
saying?
where you want to drive me to.
No, I'm not driving you anyway.
You are.
I'm asking you. I'm asking
Guys,
you.
I have a question.
Alright,
We're going to settle this, ne? So Themba needs to define
Yes.
what weakness is. Give us a definition of what weakness is.
Weakness is a stage whereby you are unable to come back to whatever life is throwing. You are being weak. When you are being vulnerable, you acknowledge your own not weakness. You're gonna drive me back to that.
I want to answer this.
You're acknowledging your own mistakes. Again, what can I say?
Is that being weak or strong? When you Martin, is weak or strong?
You're vulnerable.
Yeah, or you're explaining weak now.
Okay,
That is not
now
okay.
what's the difference between weakness and vulnerability?
And
But I'm trying to explain that right now.
No.
Being weak, it's a state whereby you cannot come back from anything. You have given up in life. And then being vulnerable is admitting your own mistakes and then taking ownership of that. You are being vulnerable. You have
Admitting
consulted it yourself.
mistakes.
Admitting
Not-
and weakness.
Context.
Yeah. Admitting
I think we're
and
having
weakness.
issues with context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Admitting.
But
And
yeah. But yeah. No. I beg to differ, guys.
I know you're gonna bend me on this one.
But that's the thing. No, guys. This is what he's been doing since
Yeah.
we've been sitting here.
Yeah.
He's been looking to other people to validate what
validate,
he's
yes.
saying. I'm saying if you're
No,
going to
I want them to
no,
support.
please listen
You
to
want
me.
them to-
Mana. Can I just finish what I want to say? Do you get what I'm saying? If you're going to bring across a point or you're of a specific opinion, you must have enough substance to say this is why
So
I
I don't
believe what
have
it
enough
is.
substance.
You don't because you
According to you,
And
I
me.
do
no,
not have.
but you're also not giving us. No.
Okay.
This is what I think.
Don't
ne?
get waked up.
No. This is very interesting. I'm not getting
Don't get waked up.
guys. This is I speak with my hands, and my tone really goes. It does not mean that I'm upset or anything. Disclaimer,
Fine.
guys. Themba is trauma. But anyway, what I'm saying is that now I even lost my train of thought.
Now I didn't say be inconsistent. Be consistent.
Let's move on.
She did. Let's move on.
All right.
Let's move on.
Why mental health matters?
I mean, I'm because you guys are gonna come with me again if I share my opinion. So,
Guys,
please do share
Themba.
amongst yourself.
If you're going to have an opinion about a particular thing, I look at opinion as you trying to teach someone something. Like, look at things from my perspective. You can't come to a person and say, I see Kholisile upalwe ngekhala red, and you don't give me.
Wrong analogy.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Why does
It
it?
does matter. It's wrong analogy.
No.
Give them chances.
It's
Give them
perspective.
chance.
Also,
You made a case study that was also out of
out of context. If anyone has issues with context here, it is you, not me. But anyway, you can't come to a person and say, Kholisile upalwe ngekhala red, and you're not trying to explain as to why you're saying it's red.
finish.
But Themba, no. We don't do that. So you must come and say, this is the reason why I see the things that I see and why I see it the way that I see it. So that I try to get
Yes.
your perspective of
Yes.
things. When you think people who differ in opinion,
Argue.
it's more like an argument,
Yeah.
like my point, I'm right,
No.
you're wrong. No. You're trying to show me how you see things
Yes.
from where you're standing. So you must try to give me the picture so that I'm able to understand, okay, this is where Themba is coming from. But no, you are just defending yourself.
Mental
But
health.
anyway, mental health.
101.
Mental
That's
health.
101.
Speaks of one on my side, like the reason I brought you on the podcast, I thought you were going to be on my side.
He disagrees with you. You can't agree with
It was a fucking wrong move. It was a fucking wrong move.
Wow.
What you believe in, again, like still believe in finance too.
But you guys don't accept
Well,
that. That's the thing. You don't accept
But
that.
you don't have substance in
The
your
problem,
argument.
You think I
You don't.
because you don't see the
It's not a substance.
the-
It's not subjective. It's an objective thing. You either have substance or you
But you
don't.
I
But see, yeah. I don't know.
According to no, we're not Muhammadin yet.
And you know,
And I'm
if I
getting-
may
I'm
quote,
getting-
if I
I
may
said
quote,
don't touch me.
if I may quote the Bible, the
Don't be
scriptures,
angry.
it says, "Study to show yourself approved." Okay.
Let's go to mental health.
Mental
now.
health.
Yes. Why mental health matters?
Should I go first?
Yes, please.
Okay, I think mental health matters because it really will inform the quality of life that you're going to lead. And the reason why I'm saying this is that a mentally healthy person is a person who is self-aware. And without self-awareness, there are certain things, you know how they speak of reaching your potential, you'll never be able to get to a place where you actually know how dynamite
You
or
are.
dynamic or whatever. But there are certain things about yourself that will remain unknown to you. So you'll never be able to tap into those things. So that's why I think mental health is quite important. And for me personally, because I suffered mental health issues. So last year late, I had a mental fallout or whatever. And it got to a place where it started affecting me physically.
Okay.
So I couldn't sleep. Even at work, I wasn't as productive. So the quality of life that I was living at that point in time, I was done. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like if you take care of your mental health, it really does improve your productivity levels. It improves the way that you think. Your relationships are improved because guys, so
Themba is being Themba today.
yeah, it's giving Themba Kells.
But I agree with you. I think the thing it goes with, you're right, it's the engine. Body, soul, and mind. Fix your mental health, that will just flow. Everything else, physicality, like you said, it will be easier. Not that you will be content with yourself,
True.
but it will be easier to run your life if you are sane and you know what's going on and yourself aware.
Self-aware.
Yes.
Themba is showing his feminine side right now.
Yeah.
So,
It's giving feminine energy.
No.
so I always say like my fear is to wake up anywhere.
Okay.
You know what that means. The person that I am, I don't want to wake up the following day like saying it's losing myself. So Penelope mentioned and then mental health actually is like your quality of life depends on your mental health, which means if you're not healthy mentally, you cannot be productive.
I agree.
That's why I always say like I'm following the following day.
I mean, I'll skip the mental.
Yeah, it's fine. Let's pass it to you. You don't say that you're skipping it.
Because you guys have proven to me that you cannot stomach out a debate. That's what they said to me the other time. Because somebody, you cannot stomach out a debate.
Yeah, you asked Michelle, the last time, remember when Tato was here, he did say that he felt some type of way about the debate they had. So yes, you can't stomach a debate.
But also we need to actually, we need to discover why we're having the conversations we're having. If it's going to be a debate where she said, and I want you to hear me out, and you're not taking anything away from, I want to ask Themba guys what he took away from this particular conversation, because he is very reluctant. This whole conversation. Yeah, he still has to think about it. We can move on. Exactly.
Because what they preached, I don't relate with that. Honestly, I don't. And I'm not.
What do you
But what's the whole point?
Yeah.
You see, this is when you have power. When a lot of people are asking you at the same time, you know you have power. Because everyone wants to get your opinion simultaneously. they're like, oh man.
No, they just want to know.
And Tate would be so proud of me.
So they can redeem themselves if they are wrong.
I'm so worried about Themba, guys.
Mental health 101, 102.
I think I'm taking too much of this.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Alright, do you want to introduce the next part? Should I continue?
Continue.
Alright. How much of an influential factor does time and age play when it comes to settling down?
Where was he?
Hey.
For both parties and genders, he keeps putting these in brackets. I don't know. These in brackets. Don't know if
Okay, but what do we mean by settling down? Mr. Podcast? What do we mean by that?
Oh, Katso, you were the one that was helping with the questions?
Yeah, Ghetto is the one who was trapped this all the time.
Yes, Katso. Can you explain it so that we don't fight with
They're
Themba
gonna use
and
this thing to come back at me. No, you said.
you use a female or feminine energy too.
I don't want to be held there.
I think
Who's of jail? Look at some of them.
I think settling down would mean maybe having a job of your dream, married, have kids, have a house and a car, like so settle it down, also groovy and I don't know.
Grovo is forever, boy.
That's what you meant, right?
Grovo is forever. Grovo is forever.
I mean, I think I have an issue with the settling down thing.
Me too, right?
Because what does it mean? Do you get what I'm saying? I can actually live my life. I can be married and still go out with my friends. It's more like, it sounds like you live your life and then you live your best life and then you die, but you're still alive. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't get the concept of settling down. I need to.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
For me, I don't have aspirations of settling down for whatever context it is for anyone. But I do understand what it entails there. But otherwise, for me, I have an issue with the thing settling down because it sets a standard for me. What is it? Settling down to what? To who?
Exactly.
And if you are saying you're married, are you settling down to a man who's leading you, or are you just settling down to marriage? That's the question. But otherwise, that's where I will stop with this because I have no aspirations of settling down. Even in my next life, as again and again, I don't want to settle down.
Yeah, no. For me, I think the more pillar, the more there's no settling down.
Believe boy, there's no settling down.
Yeah, there's no settling
There's
down.
no settling down. Guys, like we are only given a one time or one shot at life. What the fuck would you want to mess it by settling down? Tell me. Why?
Can we just get your definition of
Yeah.
Of
Thank
settling down?
you.
Yes.
I think it's whereby you choose a partner. As Uskate has put it, I think he was correct in using that analogy, whereby you decide to have one female in your life, of which I don't support. Just kidding. And then you have no, I said I'm kidding.
Wow.
But okay, I said I'm kidding. And then, I said I'm kidding. But I said I'm kidding. Now what's the fuss?
Three times, that's the fast, bro. You said it 3 times.
Okay.
And nobody said anything.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
then people don't believe me. It's fine.
And you know what repetition does? It means
So it's having one partner and then maybe having a job of your aspirations or whatever it may be, or a career of which you desire. Again, it's saying that you won't do certain things of which you did before in your youth days. That's what I think. So you need to be more grounded now when you're settling down.
Like what?
Like what in what sense?
Like what things that you did?
I've never settled down. I wish I had an answer for that, but I've never settled down. And I don't think I'll ever settle down. Because as they put it, it puts me in a position of where I have to box myself. And I still need to understand myself for my entire life. And I'm not going to box myself. Not for anyone, not even for myself. Every day I have to live my life to discover something new.
okay.
That's what I mean. I know that's fucking
Okay, so we have all explained what settling down means to us, but we have not answered the question. The question says,
The influence.
how much of an influential factor does time and age play when it comes to settling down? So we have discovered that what it all means to us.
Yeah.
So how much does time and age, how much of an influential factor does time and age play?
It's debatable again.
Yeah.
Because according to men, hey,
Yes, that is where it must go.
hey,
Hey,
you see men, men, from 18 to 30, it's not our time to settle. We're not destined in that way. Our functionality is not in that way. Women from 18 to 27, 18 to 25, I think it's their prime. They don't have time to settle down, my brother. I tell you this. They're fucking lying to you if they're saying they are. They don't have time to settle down. They are picking the best options available in the market. And a guy that is at the age of 18 or 27 who doesn't have this shit in order is not in the market regarding a lady settling down with. A lady will never settle down with you.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. If you don't have your shit in order, and I'll come back again to this. A lady will want to settle down with someone of which she believes she can provide, she can guarantee safety for her. And if you offer none of those, you give her no reason to settle down with you. And I think for most men, from 18 to 27, that's our hustling phase. And I speak this for myself again. That's my hustling phase. I don't feel I'll be doing justice to anyone who wants to be with me right now. If someone was to come and say, okay, I want to have a relationship with you, I'll be like, hey, this is not the right time. I'm still trying to get my shit in order. There are a lot of things you need to worry about before you see yourself.
Okay, I have a question.
Man, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. You owe people honesty. Honestly.
But
That was good. You owe people honesty. Honestly.
And
It's very subjective.
He's very subjective. And you're right. This is but you're subjective. You said woman. Is it all women?
Blanket approach.
Okay.
Because
Okay. Let me think this thoroughly and neatly and succinctly.
Yay.
you are doing that word now.
So I think it goes. It's a bit different with women who already established themselves in life.
Okay, then.
Yeah. I think so. I think so. I'm not sure.
So say woman, it's not all women.
Yeah.
Then it's
I think my mistake was to categorize
to generalize.
No, I think Themba's right somehow.
Donkey for once. Agree with me.
Not entirely. But what I mean is that when it comes to men, Tina, you know, John Washington from 18 up to 27, 80 or 27, like we are hustlers, but I think the problem is the standards. A certain way, like the society, I think it's a norm. Okay, at a certain age you must have this, at a certain age you must have this and this and this, and then that's not you. Like you have your own plans in life, like especially when it comes to settling down. Tell me what you tell. Like settling down, and you don't understand the concept of settling down at all. So I'm fit.
Get up.
No.
I want to give you a
Wait. Mamela.
It's a podcast. For the sake of the podcast.
But listen, I think settling down, Guinea, I don't think it's kind of like being a girlfriend, or maybe let's say getting married, having kids, starting a family. I don't think that's settling down because as she was in, the more pillar, the more like you live your life basically. So I always say to my friends, even if social thing, like you still have to do the things that you've always done, like Nisa Joy, which means if Benukuva and you you can always go out. It doesn't mean we can my formal doesn't make sense.
Choose Kholisile. And I think that's it. We're able to cover that settling down can happen individually, right?
Yes. At different ages.
So we will settle down differently, right? We are agreeing to disagree, right?
We agree to disagree.
Yes. I think we can
move. But guys, before we move, can I just ask?
Yes.
So don't ask
me.
So what if? No, but you're the one who proposed this whole thing.
Yeah.
You're the one who explained that at a specific age, if you don't achieve certain things. So like, what if life never works out for you? Are you saying you are not worth settling down with?
As a man.
Are you basing? Are you basing the value of a man upon provision.
It is what it is.
And relationship.
It is
That's
what
what
it
he's
is.
saying.
Sorry, it is what it is.
Yo. That is so sad. According to you.
According to you.
Guys, no. A man is much more than
Yes,
this.
a man is not a man is a man, that's a woman. A man is a man.
No. Okay.
Oh, guys.
Okay, if you can understand that one thing, Skater, then how many ladies of which you have dated have only accepted your proposal because of you, not what you bring?
Well,
Let's-
in my teen years,
In your history of dating.
yeah.
Yeah, what? None.
We are
Guys,
diverging.
wait. There's a female here. Thanks.
Yes, and we're diverging. You
Like-
have discovered that you can settle down alone. Why are we still having a conversation about
Thanks.
you need someone to settle down? You don't need someone to settle down.
Yeah,
Yes,
you can.
It's according to society. You must settle down with a woman and make a family. That's the societal norm.
I think now,
but
for
that's
the sake
different
of
for
argument,
everyone.
we are saying you can settle down alone, but we all know what it means. Settling
I
down.
will. My brother will never
For
get
the sake
married.
of argument, we can
No.
say you can settle down alone.
No.
So which means right
Not
now
for the
I've
sake of
settled
argument,
down.
for the
Are we
sake-
saying right now I've settled down?
My brother, listen. Don't
No,
say
no,
for the
no,
sake of
no.
argument.
Are we saying
for the sake of
Okay,
reality?
Sizwe, are we saying now?
Not argument.
No. Are we saying now I've settled down?
No.
That's what. Exactly.
So
No,
I
but
say
guys,
I
wait.
need someone to settle down.
Sizwe, what is the concept of settling down?
No.
Settling down, we've discovered that. You actually said when you spoke about wealth, blah blah blah. I don't have aspirations of another person. So that means- and other
Do
people
not project your perspective. in
and
some-
do not project your project. It's the same thing. Don't
No,
also-
but guys,
and don't project
wait.
your
I
narrative as well.
think from this we can actually discover that this is a very subjective
Yes.
thing.
Exactly.
Settling
We
down
not all
means
agree.
different
Exactly.
things to
For
different
everyone.
people.
But
Do you get what I'm saying?
Don't say
You're
that.
playing us. You know what he said? You know what he said?
You're controlling
That's
how
the
I
other
talk.
thing. That's the thing. It's a fact.
No, it's not this one.
It's a fact.
No,
It can be. It's
not
not
a fact, my
factual.
brother. It will never be a fact. You're lying, Themba. And in you lying, don't stand on your lies.
Okay, let's
Learn from what we are saying. Let's move on.
Let's move.
Correct.
Gender equality. Is it far-fetched? Or could? Or is it now a no?
Okay, I think with regards to gender equality, just like everything, there are advantages and disadvantages to every particular thing that we speak of. But I'll never understand the concept of wanting two different things to be equal when they were created for a different purpose. So I understand that the system was created to somehow benefit men, in a sense that when we speak of patriarchy and all those things, I don't want to get into it with Themba because angeke siqede. But when it comes to such instances, you see where there's a need for improvement. But I don't think we'll ever get to a place where there's gender equality. And I don't think that was the initial idea that men and women ought to be equal. And I think, why do women why can't we be ourselves? Do you understand? Why can't we maximize on what we are strong in? Why do we want to become men? We can be women and excel. That's one thing that Themba and I agree on.
The first time we agree on this.
For the first
And it's the last time we ever agree on anything.
Yeah, well.
Let me put that 2 cents
Because I
worth.
believe the two should complement each other.
Yes.
They should not be in competition.
Yeah, because it's two different things.
Let me
You
put that
can't
2
want.
cents worth. Nah, I don't like talking about gender equality. Because
Yeah.
It's a matter of now in the gender now it is also branched out.
Yeah,
and I know
yeah,
as a gay person they always say, but you must advocate for, and I'm just like, I can't advocate for anything that I don't understand. If you are transgender, it's okay to be trans, but I'm using that from my from my life. I really can't advocate for you because now I have to pretend like I don't know that you want a man, and it's okay for you to do whatever. But when it comes to gender equality, there's men and women, and I always say it, and they have different roles, and the only difference. That's why when he speaks about feminine
Don't
energy
go
and blah blah
back.
blah, I have to go back because I know I must go back. I'm allowed to do.
Don't go
Because I'm
back.
right, the
Don't go back.
spirit is eating you up, not me. So what I'm saying is, when it comes to that, I really just would like to remind people that it's just men and women, and like you said, in as much as we want to branch out and be ourselves, let's be ourselves based on that, because that's all we have. We have Adam and Eva. That's the
That's
country
it.
of our lives. So whether now your mind says, I'm a man who feels like a woman, but you're a man still. So think more, like present yourself as a man, and your thoughts processes, the things that you do must be manly instead of feminine, because now they're going to ask you, are you really a woman? When certain things come, for instance, job application, and then you can't compete with Pastor Simea, for instance. She's having issues because even though she was born a hermaphrodite with testes, but she lived as a woman.
Yeah, true.
So it's a problem when it comes to competition and inclusivity. The government I blame as well, because they say they're inclusivity, they're just including previously disadvantaged people and genders. Who said women were previously disadvantaged when they were cleaning the house? Maybe they were happy, but that's a story for another day.
That's actually very interesting.
I was not there.
I'm not going to say on this one.
I'm not, but this is, I think, because we touch on I think I think it has to do with opportunities, like via education and careers and like, you know, okay, as a woman back in the days, obviously, you raise the kids and then our skill, you know, educated and so I think it came from that. Now women can now.
You see, now he's got a point. Right? Because they missed the point. They thought inclusivity means now they must. I must be the boss. No, you can't be the boss without saying it.
Yeah.
You can go to school, you're right. Go to school, be a CEO of a mine. As a woman, without standing and wanting to be advocating for gender roles. That's another thing. Why are gender roles always questioned? Why are they questioned? Because gender roles in the household, you don't question them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But when you get to the professional world now,
they're
that's when
questioned.
feminism starts. Sorry to use that word, I hate it. I never say it. But it's like
Stats, my man.
Yeah. Question to everyone would be: Are we in a position? And I think I might be deviating a bit. Are we in a position where we're ready to have a female president?
No,
We're not.
ever in a lifetime. The leadership requires the. Just kidding. I don't but I don't think we are, and I don't think it's because of how the society has programmed this whole entire thing. Not that there aren't females who are qualified to hold that presidential seat, but because of the way I don't think.
Do you think the world will survive, you know, or function?
Nah,
when there's like a
it
woman
wouldn't.
leadership?
Why?
You need a man like Vladimir Putin.
Why?
I think you want to say that Ramaphosa is giving you the feminine energy.
wow.
He's a big
Guys,
that guy.
no.
So
I'm sorry, he's a big guy. Because I feel like there is no point where he takes decisions for himself.
Yeah, if I
don't. Because I feel like really, and I don't want to delve into politics, but I don't feel like he ever takes a decision, like literally his own decision. Everything of which he comes up with, it's something that has to be backed up by some other people.
I have a question.
Yeah,
so does that mean that comparison and saying Cyril has feminine energy, are you now insinuating that females are unable to make their own decisions? They have to be backed up by other people.
Yeah, that's what
the very same person who was pointing to other men to validate.
validation.
I wasn't looking
I'm
for
asking.
No,
I'm asking, is that what you're saying? What's your reason?
For instance, Vladimir Putin, he has been trained as a.
You're not answering the question.
No, I'm trying to make a point here.
But he asked us a question.
No, I asked you a question though.
Everyone answer and let's move on.
Exactly.
But we're almost done. We're almost done. What's the rush?
The two of you are
That's
having
the point. I am asking you a question.
What's your question? Then
I said, Mina, are you insinuating with the analogy or whatever you call it that you just used, Cyril, are you saying, because you're saying he's using his feminine energy, I'm asking, are you insinuating that women are incapable of making their own decisions and therefore need to be backed up by other people in order to decide?
That's what I believe.
Like also the question, Yoguti, female president, why does the gender matter? Are women, do we not have the intellectual capacity?
It does matter. I'm not saying we do not have the intellectual capacity.
What is the issue? Bring it across so that we see it.
Your emotional side is more powerful than your intellectual side.
Not you saying that to me. Not a Themba, guys. Speaking of emotion.
But, guys, come on. I'm being honest right
Yeah,
now.
that's just what you know. That's your opinion.
Women use emotions. Men use like
Not all women.
Try to differ with that one.
Can I answer the question?
Try to differ with that one.
Before I lose my train of thought, can I answer the question from the viewer, please?
Yes.
Thank you. My brother, and I'm going to answer it based on what he also made the statement, and I'm also going to ask you. Shuti, you said, why do you think we are not intellectually? Ne?
Yeah, we don't have the intellectual capacity.
All right. And then we said, the question is, do you think a female can lead the country? I'm saying yes to that, ne? But I'm saying to her statement, that question, ne? Yes, you asked him a question because he asked you a question. Otherwise, the reason why he's asking that is because women have put themselves up there now. That feminism thing, that's the reason why he's going to that question. It's not a matter of gender roles, it's a matter of, we know that the woman wants to always say, I can't do this. We know very well that
you can.
You're human, you're capable of doing anything. That's what, that's where it comes from. But otherwise, I think they can
capable of doing anything.
Anyone in the world.
Women are capable of doing anything.
And you could,
a woman can do a
human being.
It's a human thing. Thank you.
Human beings.
Thank you.
Human beings.
Sizwe is my person, guys.
You can still take out.
Why wouldn't we be able to?
Women can still take out.
Yes.
Wait in time in age, women still take out.
But there's a machine that can still
Yes.
you can just
guys,
find the machine that
guys, come on. Still take out requires manpower.
And it's for men. Maria's a bobad, and really traditional.
Hey, what about women who are in touch with their
go to customary issues.
No, guys.
If we go to customary issues, men are
right now.
When you come on to cast, she's the one who slaughtered the cow.
I think we are back to my gender roles. Like as a man, like you cannot expect.
You can't use that example.
He also cannot say women can do anything.
Humans, I said human beings. I said human beings.
Market to say you can do.
I said human beings.
Guys, human beings. That's why
human beings.
The constraints of gender, guys.
The human anatomy.
The main idea was inviting Penelope.
The roast of Kells.
We're supposed to invite Penelope on the podcast.
Guys, thank you for having me.
The last point.
There's no last point.
There is a last point.
Oh, okay, and bonus. A bonus point.
Yeah, there is a last point.
The bonus point. Not the last point. Bonus. Bonus.
Listen. Okay. Only you need to answer this one.
Why?
Why?
Oh, come on, guys.
Okay.
Come on.
No,
So, I have had the privilege to have the rights to make decisions within the podcast.
Oh, wow. Are you gonna go to those roles now?
I'm just saying.
Are you being manly?
Masculine energy.
I'm just saying. What does it mean to you to lead? Okay, wait. Anything boy. Yeah, boy. What does it mean to live to you? What is life? And then she laughs. That's the beauty of it. She laughs.
That's life.
That's life.
Wonderful.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's quite simple for me. Living for me means being able to wake up and do what I'm passionate about and be content, you know. Living my life and knowing that I'm living intentionally, right? And guys, Themba is giving weird vibes here. Very weird vibes. I don't know, but that's basically it. Like being intentional and being happy and being content with the life that I'm living. You know, that's what living is to me. It would actually be ideal if I could just live a life where I can wake up at 9 a.m. and then read a book the whole day and go to bed. That would be life for me. But yeah, I have to work.
Sorry? So come again.
I'm saying housewife.
Stats. Who doesn't?
No, it's fine.
Who doesn't? Please, I want to be a housewife. If anyone is watching, looking for a housewife, I am that girl.
Settle down.
Thanks.
Settle down.
That's what she is. We literally don't want really to believe it.
Wow.
Guys, I'm joking. Why? Okay, why are you putting me showing each other serious?
No, because
Guys, I'm under the influence of
Yeah, I want to say.
It's an excuse. Because you'll remember this tomorrow.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We have had the privilege of Susa Osis Keke. That's how it should like to be referred to as. I think yes. We had the privilege of having her on our podcast. And now we are about to close the podcast. But before we close the podcast, yes, never. You remember that?
I know.
You remember, Jaya. Who still remembers? What if you remembers? We are going there. So this lady.
So you can touch me.
Okay, sorry.
Influence.
Okay. You remember that post about where basically I said, what was the post about? Smash.
When we are addressing
since we are addressing the political issues, yeah.
State affairs,
state affairs, state affairs. Why like your boyfriends are quiet? Hey. I want to look for this comment.
Screenshot.
I want to look for this comment.
Take a screenshot.
The
post is still there.
I guess so.
Yeah. Listen, the post is still there. But I took a screenshot, boy. I know I took a screenshot. Azange angile umntwana abantu. Azange angile kaso.
That's why I'm trying.
Azange angile kaso.
No, you'll discover very soon why Sleshan Mina no Themba.
Serious?
He doesn't. Okay, it's a story for another day. Or after the podcast.
Guys, are you ready?
Yes.
Sorry.
Talk about saving the best for last night.
Fana. This is going on a snippet. So she is saying no one is obligated to engage, especially to prove that they are enlightened about a particular subject. The reluctance or the choice to not engage in such content on social media does not necessarily reflect ignorance. And this is how she closes it.
Which is the part that got you.
But also, I'm a boyfriend way to run businesses. They only use social media for business purposes. No, that was supposed to be a pun. But I feel like a lot of people after that, they followed Penelope because of that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but I think so. I don't know. Because even Amachita...
I didn't notice any following by the way, guys.
Like,
is it?
I used to watch she listens to a
video.
Song. I should like if phone just for and then like
boy.
Yeah, from she would post I think
one time she sang a song to me, yeah.
She would post 10
No, we're not.
She would post 10 stories, listening to one song until it's paired like
yes.
along to the song.
Yes.
But I also think that comment it came from a vile place. To say, I think as she said before, you are used to people agreeing with you on everything you post. And I think partially she's correct. You know, I've never had someone of which I'm not giving you any credits. I've never had someone.
I'll take it,
But it is.
I've never had someone who disagrees with me on Facebook. So I think waking up to that comment like, hey, okay, I never expected this from you, but where are you heading to now? Where are you coming from? Why did you write such things? But it's okay.
Okay, so I'm trying to establish the point of him bringing it up.
Who?
This part now.
Because I think...
Do you want to see if I still stand by my opinion?
No, not necessarily so, but I feel like a lot of people would want us to touch base on this. So it's just for the audience. Not particularly for you and I to go back to that. I mean, you've slaughtered me, I've accepted my defeat. I was there to say that you're a female version of me.
She's a female version.
Yeah, I can see that still.
I'm very curious. I'm going to ask you something after this.
And you must be prepared to answer it, because if you don't, she's going to slaughter you alive.
I don't slaughter people.
So, yeah, that was it. That's how we close the podcast.
I'm still curious to know, like, maybe after something.
I don't know. Only she can be able to answer that one.
Baby happy in guys. The comment. No, but I still stand by what I said. Baby, it was my opinion, and I still say Like, you can't say, it's like going to church and asking why people are not engaging on Christianity or the Bible. And you're asking that question in church. No, man. Like, and you're judging people who are outside the church and you want to know their opinion. But this whole conversation was held in church. Do you get what I'm saying?
Thank you. Take it back to Facebook.
Stets, do you get what she's saying? No, you don't, my guy.
No. I can elaborate.
No,
I don't
no,
have
just
issues.
Yeah.
No, but this is what I'm saying.
Okay, Stets, how, when you read that comment, how did you feel?
I think for me personally, I would say the last part was not really necessary.
It wasn't. It wasn't a business one.
Guys, wait. No. Not when.
You would have made your point without saying the last part.
Nobody was being petty. Because why bekakhuluma ngama boyfriend wethu?
But listen.
No, he was being petty.
No,
He could have said.
I cannot be subjected to what she believes I was.
That's exactly what you guys are trying to do with me right now.
What I'm saying is that when I get on social media, I have the freedom to write anything. And she has the freedom to comment however she wants to. No one needs to put her in a box and say, this is how you should construct your comments.
Exactly. No. But my point is, he could have constructed that whole status update. My boyfriend win. He could have said young man. Do you get what I'm saying? So he was being petty, and I was giving him what he was giving. I said to him, if you can give it, you must take it. Guys. No, I'm not
offended. Why were you offended?
No, it problem would just because.
So now I must go on Facebook and then police your feelings.
No, we're on Facebook.
No, it's not about that.
Facebook. So my point is
toxic.
Yeah.
I wish Guti when Andwana more push something.
For business, bro. Not
I wish Guti when you post about something like is related to like the state affairs. Let's see comment
just to show that you are enlightened. That's my point. That's what I was saying. Themba guys needs to take it. If he can give it, he must be able to take it. Y'all get it.
I'm saying the state right now is under a position of mayhem. And if you do not know the state affairs, you are a little bit disadvantaged, because whatever that happens within the country, you must know. I'm not saying no politics.
But my question is, how did he discover that people don't know? Just because they don't engage on Facebook, it's not valid. That's it. It's not just because they don't comment.
So we are saying everyone knows about the state affairs.
Not everyone.
Exactly. I was addressing the people who do not know about the state affairs.
Are they even on Facebook?
Yes, they are. Some of them they are. Come on.
Just because they don't engage and write content doesn't mean that they don't have opinions. They don't have intimate conversations in person with other people concerning the.
Do they have opinions regarding the state affairs?
They do, but it does not have to reflect it on their timeline. It does not have. No. This is not an issue of. It's not an issue of substance.
It's an issue of what?
No. You can't.
You can't say I can't, because now you're limiting me. How should move?
No, but I'm saying, how do you know about the conversations that they have outside of Facebook?
I was addressing the people who do not know about the state affairs. I have a particular audience of which I address to.
So, like, how do you know what those people don't know? Because you did not find it in their timeline. There was no content that says state affairs.
You are what you post on Facebook.
You are what you post on Facebook. Yes. Then I am very concerned about Themba. I am very concerned about Themba.
We are closing the podcast.
I'm very concerned about Themba.
I love the engagement we've had, the disagreements and everything. And remember that I do not represent my own opinions. We're just pushing time. We are.
You can't. No. Guys, time is a very valuable thing. You can't just say.
So, guys, we've had Penelope Mbhele on the podcast. Famously known as Penelope Mbhele.
Famous.
Skater, thank you for pulling through. Kholisile. Thank you. Sizwe, thank you. Although you're no longer.
I went to the bathroom. I went to the toilet.
Yeah, it's fine. wherever you went, it's fine. Thank you to everyone that made themselves available today. from the DXP production. Thank you so much for putting through my nigga. Ahoy.
Kakasi as well.
Kakasi as well for making the reservations for us. So this is how we close the show. This is how we close the podcast. This is your boy Themba Kells, and I'm saying to you, alright.
We love you,
Keke.
Best thing in the morning. Mama ngifuna ukuyekole. Ukuhlala ngibuke nje mana mangisakhone. Kube ngiyasipana kube nathi asokole. Best thing in the morning. Mama ngifuna ukuyekole. Ukuhlala ngibuke nje mana mangisakhone. Kube ngiyasipana kube manje asokole. Ngithi mama ngizobuya. Mama ngiyofuna umsebenzi. Yaza kukolula mama sulinye bezi. Ngithi mama ngizobuya.
Ifoni ke ba?
Hello. What do you tell?
Yaza kukolula mama